Our Windows Server 2025 rebooted, came up to here to the setting the password. We're going to use our password 01 so we don't forget what it is. Or you can use any other password, just don't forget what it is. Finish, finalizing the settings. It's going to log us in as the administrator. The administrator is the first account created on any computer. Well, press Control-Alt-Delete. Well, if you press Control-Alt-Delete, that's not going to work because that sends Control-Alt-Delete to your local computer, not to the virtual machine. So we need to go to, is it Input? There it is, Keyboard. You can insert Control-Alt-Delete by clicking this, or you can hit the Host key, which is the right Control key, and delete. The other thing that you may want to do after you've logged in, well, let's log in first. Get our server up and started. Sometimes it's handy to be able to copy and paste things from your local computer to your virtual machine. If you go to Devices, Shared Clipboard, by default this is always turned off. So go ahead and turn that on. That is handy. Once we get to the desktop, the next thing we're going to do is install the VirtualBox Guest Editions. That makes whatever operating system is being virtualized more compatible with VirtualBox. Well, let's just go ahead and click Accept. We won't be running this machine that often. And we should be, yep, there we are at our desktop. We're not going to do any of this right now, so we're going to say do not show that message again. What automatically shows up is the Server Manager. It's Microsoft's way of trying to centralize everything that you want to do with your server into one location. We're going to install the VirtualBox Guest Editions, go to Devices, insert Guest Edition CD image. And sometimes that pops up something, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to go to my File Explorer, go down to this PC, and there's my CD drive. It's a virtual CD drive. I really don't have a CD in my computer. And it'll read it eventually. Server is still starting up and doing all its setting up mumbo jumbo. It'll be here in just a moment. Well, I just had to click somewhere else and then click on here, and it read the drive just fine. We are looking for the one that has the little icon on it. And we want the one that's AMD 64. We have a 64-bit operating system. AMD is the generic term for an Intel AMD type processor. We click Next. There's nothing to change. We click Install. It'll take a few moments to install all this stuff. And then we need to reboot. Click Finish. That'll restart our virtual machine. We also want to go up to Devices and make sure that that's not in there. It doesn't look like it is, but I'm just going to remove disk from the virtual drive anyway, just to make sure that CD isn't in there. There we are. So I'm going to use my right Control key, press Delete. I work with virtual machines enough. I have that guy memorized. Or you can go up to Input, Keyboard, insert Control-Alt-Delete. You always have to do Control-Alt-Delete on the server. They want to make sure that you are actually the person that should be there. And there we go. We got Windows Server up and going. So I'm going to increase my size here. There we go. I'm going to scale up my Windows Server so it looks a little bit bigger. I'm going to drag the corners so it fits a little better. Here we are, ready to configure our Windows Server. So we're going to, let's see here, we're going to add internet access to our network. Well, we want our Windows 11 computer that we're going to add later on, and in the directions you'll see it talks about installing Windows 11. We want to create our own independent network so whatever we do here doesn't affect the rest of our network. So we're going to add internet access to our internal network. File. Oh no, it's in a different location now. Oh, that's right. We need to go to the VirtualBox Manager. It is in File, Tools, Network Manager. We're going to NAT Networks. I'm going to remove this even though I put it in earlier. Oh no, I need to just add another one, don't I? Yeah, let me add another one. I'm going to call this Server, because this is for my server network. I'm going to set it to 10.10.10.0, just like it shows in the directions. And then I'm going to, okay, it says actually 10.0.1.0. Sorry, got the directions wrong. There we go. We do not want DHCP turned on, so we turn that off. And click Apply. Now we've set up our own little network. This has a router in it. The router is always the gateway is going to be at 10.10.1.1. It always is there. VirtualBox makes a little fake router for us. Next we go to Machine and Settings. And we go to Network. We want this to be attached to a NAT network, and we want it attached to our server network. You may only have one, but we want it attached to our server network. We'll go ahead and click OK. Our machine is going to lose network access. Oh no, oh no. Well, that's where we go to the next part, and we set our server 1 to a static IP address. Servers are almost always set to a static IP address, and I see my directions are a little bit wrong because there is no more control panel. In our server manager, we're going to click on Local Server. And once it all livens up, we're going to go down to Ethernet, IP address assigned by DHCP. Well, we don't have a DHCP server. We will have one when we install it on our server. We're going to click here to bring up our configuration. There's our network card. Whether your computer has wireless or whatever type of internet access it has or network access it has, in the virtualization software, it's always going to show up as Ethernet because we're virtualizing. This is not your physical adapter. It's attached to your physical adapter. So we right-click and go to Properties. Our next step is to go down to Internet Protocol version 4. This is the addressing layer. This is our logical IP address layer that allows us to cross into other networks. We're going to click Properties. We want a static IP, just like it's in the documentation. 10.10. There we go. 10.10.1.10. 10 is the specific IP address for this server. And we need to type in 255. The subnet mask is going to be the same for everybody. And VirtualBox's automatic router is always at 1. Now for now, until we turn on DNS into this server, we're going to use one of Google's public DNS servers so that we have internet access. We go ahead and click OK. We go ahead and click Close. And if we go to Start and bring up our command prompt, CMD, we should be able to ping somebody, like Google. Let's see if we can get there. Yep, we're there fine. All right, so everything's up and working. Your next step would be to install Windows 11 according to the directions that are in here. We'll see you later.